Welcome to episode 22 of Brunch with Besties.
Hey. We
So,
here.
of course, you have Sherry Renee and
Chanel.
yes, and this is episode 22.
22.
22,
Getting
22.
there.
We getting there.
Deuce.
Deuce. So this is our reflection episode. We're going to look back because when this drops, it will be New Year's Eve, right?
Hey.
New Year's Eve. So looking back.
Mm-hmm.
So first we're going to start with the toast as we always do. So Chanel, who are you toasting to today?
I have two toasts that I want to give out to. The first one being my mom. This being a reflection episode. My mom is the real MVP. Like, this year has been a whirlwind, and she's been there every step of the way. Just taking care of everything. Like, she's a really nice person. Not because she's my mom, but because she goes out of her way to take care of me, even in instances where she doesn't have to do it. And it's just like, wow, you're really amazing. So, I don't tell her enough, but I love you, Mom. And so when you listen to this episode, I love you, and I appreciate all you do for me and JR and everybody. So,
yeah, I was going to say, your mom be taking care of everybody. So, Penny D, I love you too. And thanks for taking care of me as well.
Yes, she is awesome.
As you always have.
Always. And my other toast is going to go to God because, again, this year was a whirlwind, and God is good. You got to praise God, even for the small stuff. So,
you know, Talena sent me a text and she was like, thank God for God.
Listen, amen, Talena. Thank God for God.
Thank God for God, man.
Won't he do it? He just be showing out, like, with everything. So pay attention to the small stuff in your life, too. So,
and be grateful.
Absolutely.
Be grateful.
What you got?
So my toast is to Latoya and Crystal. They are two listeners who were brunching.
Hey,
they were besties and they was brunching and they tagged us. So
love it.
So yeah, these two beautiful women were out, enjoying the company of each other.
Yes.
Over brunch.
And they are gorgeous. So
gorgeous.
Yay. Thank you, ladies.
Yes. So whenever you're out brunching with your bestie, tag us.
Yeah, let us see the pictures.
Yes, at Brunch with Besties podcast on Instagram.
Absolutely. And guys, too, y'all be brunching.
Y'all do.
Send us pictures.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And y'all be with y'all besties all the time.
All the time. So, send us pictures.
Yes, definitely. Okay. So, now let's break bread. What's going on, girl?
Listen, we were just chatting about this amazing break that we're all on.
Yes.
And, you forget that other people are not on break like you are.
Who you telling?
So yeah, I dropped my son off with his dad, and shout out to his dad, he's great. But I dropped him off, and our bestie Scarlett was like, "So don't you got to get JR because his dad has to go to work?" And I'm like, "Work?
What is that?
Right. People still doing that? Right. Like that's old,
right. Acting brand
all
new,
brand new." So yeah, so shout out to this break. We don't go back for a little while. Still have a lot of time on my hands to just be out here. Really not doing none because I'm not out here.
Yeah.
But I've been Netflixing and Huluing like a mug. So, and those are nouns. Netflixing and Huluing.
Verbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are verbs. You're right. Those actively
See, she
doing
on
that.
break. She a teacher, but she on break, so she gets a pass.
I teach kindergarten. We don't learn
right.
that. No, we don't learn that in kindergarten. But yeah, so this break is amazing.
Man, shouts out to the break. The break is real. So we're also on break. So although we're not teachers, my company decided as an organization every year that we do what is called shutdown, which I love.
Listen.
We look forward to it every year. And like you, I was acting brand new because on the way to Everyday Media, I was like, why is there traffic? How, Sway?
Right.
Why?
Where y'all going?
Then I was like, oh, everyone's getting off of work.
Yep. And it is about that time.
Because they still do that.
I guess people still do that, man. I couldn't even imagine. I feel sad for y'all. So
Meanwhile, I was cuddled up with my heated blanket,
bomb,
watching all types of episodes,
bomb,
on the Fire Stick. So shouts out to the Fire Stick as well.
Yes, fire sticking, another verb.
Yes,
so yeah,
another verb.
Oh.
Okay, so time for our quick tip. So we are currently reading Soar for our book club. We're actually going to wrap it up today. So shouts out to Audible.
Yes.
So definitely, if you would like to use our free trial, check out www.audibletrial.com/BWB. BWB as in Brunch with Besties. Our next book is actually going to be Tiffany Haddish, The Last Black Unicorn.
Yes, cracking.
So make sure you guys get that. I've been hearing that it's a good read, so we want to go ahead and give it a try.
Yeah, she's awesome. I know it's going to be good. I'm ready.
Yes. Okay, so tea time.
The year
The year
2017.
2017. Looking back.
Looking back, oh my goodness, hindsight, man. Um, this has been a year.
We did a lot this year.
We did, and I feel like the year kind of really flew by, and it's like, wow, it's really ending.
When Christmas came, I was like, so Christmas is tomorrow?
Right.
I'm like, why?
Yeah, like this year flew by, and I know that's cliche to say, but it really did this year. Maybe because we were so actively involved in life. Like life was just going and going. So it was great. But yeah, it's definitely did not, things never go as planned because God is like, nope, follow my way.
He'd be like, just effing with you.
Listen, ha ha.
You thought you was going to do that?
Yeah. Joke's on you.
Right.
But yeah, that was definitely the year. But I'm glad to see that it's coming to a close nicely. I always look at it as the people who are still here with us, and we're making it. So a lot of people didn't get the opportunity. So God bless all of those people. But yeah, just being appreciative of life.
So what were your major accomplishments in 2017?
Wow. So in 2017, I got offered another teaching position. So that was nice because it's so funny because I came back to Milwaukee like right before the new year started. And at that point, I didn't have a job. Like, came right back home to my mom's house, and I was just like, "Oh no, what is life?"
Starting over.
I had to completely start over.
So, shouts out to everybody listening who's starting over.
Absolutely, it's a
beautiful thing.
You can reinvent yourself whenever you choose to, every day if you want to. But I definitely reinvented myself. So I didn't have a job. So getting a job, like, not I want to say immediately, but pretty quickly after I came home, I found a school to work at. Was it ideal? No, but I was getting money. So at that point I was like, okay, I'm afloat a little bit. So that happened. Another accomplishment, I feel like I always put like traveling, and I didn't realize that we had gone so many places until I looked at my Snapchat memories, and I was like, wow, hey DC, hey Atlanta, hey Cali. So I was just like, we did get out and travel.
Yeah.
So that was always something I'm always looking forward to do. Another accomplishment is just finding me. And I know we talked about this before, but just being unapologetically me. And I feel like the new year brought literally a new year for me because my birthday is right at the top of the year as well. So turning 30 this year was great. So yeah, a lot of accomplishments.
So how do your accomplishments compare to the goals that you set?
I feel like looking back, so I actually have my goals because I write them down. So if you all don't do this, you probably should. So every year, I know me and my friends, we typically like vision board, but I usually like write down my goals as well. So I'm looking in my phone, and this is from February 4th, 2017. So it's legit. I didn't do this like yesterday. But my goals were, one of my goals was to find a job I enjoy. I just said I did that. I don't know if I enjoyed it, but I found a job. So I'm going to say, hey, it was okay. So I ideally wanted to find a job in higher education or admin. And I wanted to start a second master's, which I didn't do because I was just like, I already have a master's degree. I don't really need to do this. So another one of my goals was to clear up some debt, which was another thing that I did, which was great because I did do that too. So I'm really proud of myself. Not cleared it all the way, but my student loans are all consolidated. So they're all under control at this point. They're all together, which is nice. So I'm not getting bills from like 10 different people. Get closer to God. So I've definitely done a lot of like studying the Bible, meditating, praying, being thankful and appreciative of God, enjoying life. So I feel like this year I did a lot of that, going out by myself. Like my friends was like, dude, you doing the most, like every day you're somewhere. So I did a lot of that. And my last one was to focus on being happy, to smile, to travel, to blog. I did those things. So I'm really like proud of myself that I did what I said I was going to do. And you don't realize that until you go back and reflect on what you actually wrote for yourself to do. And I think I'm especially hard on myself. Like, you ain't do nothing you said you was going to do. Yeah. Like, this year was terrible. But looking back, it's like, you really did. Was it as big as you would have liked? No, but I did what I could. So, yeah.
So for me, I had a whole list of goals that I wanted to do. So this year I got a new position at my company, which I was very excited about.
Yes.
we did Nadia's gender reveal.
We did.
We started our podcast.
We did.
You know, we had some bumps in the road.
We did. But we still here. And thank you all for rocking with us.
Yes, and we're here every week.
Yes.
So yeah. We met a lot of different people because of the podcast. So a lot of people slide in the DMs and share their stories. And, you know, everybody doesn't want to be on the mic, even though we encourage it. But nonetheless, it's still good just to, like, have that contact with different people. I bought a bike.
Yes.
Which is something that I wanted to do. I started my Sherry R. Simmons Scholarship Fund and gave money to the first recipient this year. So that was big.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I was proud of myself for that.
I was so proud.
Because that was something I've been saying I was going to do since the 9/9.
And it was amazing.
I got to mentor colleagues and students, so that's always something that I want to do. I moved. I acquired enough hours to sit for the PMP exam, so I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah, you need 1 million hours to do that, and I did. Yeah, there were some things that I didn't do, though.
Like what?
So a couple things. I had, like, all these weight loss goals. That went nowhere.
Hey. Don't beat yourself up.
And I wanted to get certified for the CPIM exam. And there's 5 exams, and I made it to, I think, exam number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to get back on that.
Gotcha.
But the biggest thing about reaching goals is the commitment and the follow through. Because, you know, anybody will say that they want to do stuff, and a lot of times people just say they want to do stuff because it sounds good. Like, I'm gonna be vegan because that's trendy or whatever.
Right.
But, you know, if you don't have a plan,
listen.
then it just all goes by the wayside.
Listen, and shout out to anybody that's vegan, and if that's your goal, and like she just said, if you're actively, like, pursuing that, then hey, good for you. But don't just put something that's not really attainable on your goal list, because it's gonna make you sad. Like, you're gonna feel sad when you don't reach that goal.
Right, definitely. And, you know, shouts out to all the people who actually make active plans to reach their goals with milestones and dates. And they kind of, you know, like, they do the whole planning and the organizing to set themselves up for success.
Absolutely.
Because without that, then you're just kind of blowing smoke, you know? Yeah. And then you end up on December 31st looking back at your goals like, hey, how come I didn't do that?
Yep.
So, and so I'll say for me, the couple or the few goals that I didn't reach them because of me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking that too. Like, one of mine on my list was to get a passport, and I was still, like, playing around, like, doing it. Like, yeah, I'll get it next month. I'll get it. And then it's like, okay, really get it. So I was actively like, okay, well, let me order these birth certificates. Like, I started the process. Like, now it's like, okay, now you have what you need. So now it's like, do it. So that's gonna be at the top of my goal list this year to really get it done.
Cool. So yeah. So also just to be intentional, right? So to do things because you actually want to do them. So not just because it's trending or that's what everybody else is doing, but it's really like, hey, how is this going to add value to your life, or for the sake of what? What's your purpose? What's your intention behind it? And then to be decisive, right? Make decisions to get results. Because if you don't, then again, you're just going to be sitting here like,
yeah. And time don't stop for nobody. It's going to keep going.
Right. And then also just realizing that wanting it isn't good enough. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I want to do it. Yeah, that ain't good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you have to find that desire behind it to want to do it. But it's always good. And like we said earlier on, like, don't necessarily wait for the new year to be like, okay, I'm going to do all this stuff. I mean, honestly, you can reinvent yourself every day. Like, if that's what you choose to do, like, set some goals and, hey, I'm going to do this next week. Or it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to just crap out on life. Not really crap out. That sounds terrible. But whatever. I'm not going to do anything. And then come New Year's Eve, I'm going to just have all these goals written down. And these going to be my resolutions. Like, don't be that person to just wait for that time.
Right.
Because tomorrow's not promised. So you're going to be like, oh, I'm waiting for New Year's. And then you're going to wake up on New Year's and it's going to be all bad. So don't just wait for that time. Just actively, like, be reinventing yourself every day.
Yeah. And, you know, every Sunday is the start of a new week. At midnight, it's the start of a new day.
Listen, anytime.
Right? The first is the start of a new month.
Listen.
You know? So what I've been doing now is I have this amazing planner, I guess I'll call it. It's from bestself.com.
Oh, nice.
And you have 13-week goals. So then it's not long, it's not too long where it's like, oh, I got to do it within the year, because then you don't focus in on anything. But I'm just doing 3 goals at a time in 13-week intervals.
Gotcha.
And then moving on, right?
That's nice.
So I would definitely recommend it.
What's the site?
It's called bestself.com.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Might have to look into that. But again, me and planners, so you got to do what works for you too.
Yes.
Because me and planners are not friends. Like, actually having to write something down, and it's so funny because I'm like this with my blog too. Like, I don't want to put pen to paper. Like, me and writing, I'm gonna throw that in the garbage or I'm gonna lose it or something. But I'll type it. Like, me and my phone, like I have like at least like 500 notes in my phone right now, because I'm always like, oh, I gotta write this down, I gotta do this. So you gotta do what's best for you. So if a planner is for you, get one. That sounds super dope. But if not, use your technology. It's there.
Yeah, definitely use whatever works for you, but you have to be able to refer back to it.
Right.
So
that's the thing.
If you're not gonna go back to it and look at it and add to it and see. So the thing that I like about this one is that it breaks down 13 goals that you want to do. I'm sorry, 3 goals that you want to do in 13 weeks, but then it breaks it down into what the weekly inputs in or behaviors are, because that's what you really need to create a goal or to achieve a goal, right? Is you need consistent behavior over a period of time. And that's what a lot of people don't have, right? They don't have the discipline. And so it allows you to verbalize what that is. So it's really saying, what does it take to reach X?
Right.
So if you want to lose 10 pounds in 13 weeks, what does it take to get there? What do you need to do every week? Then it breaks it down to what do you need to do every day? And then you can kind of track to if you were successful or not. So that's why I like it. But I agree, if a planner ain't for you, then you'll buy it and it'll probably just collect dust.
Listen, that don't sound like it was a cheap planner either.
It wasn't. It wasn't cheap, and this is not an ad.
Listen, at all. They did not give Brunch with Besties no money.
They didn't.
But however, I mean, again, do what's best for you. Either way, there is no right or wrong way to track your goals or to jot down your goals. But like, I feel like the common thread is to be active in it and to hold yourself accountable, which is what's most important.
And then also don't have vague goals.
Yeah.
Give us an example of a vague goal.
Like I always think back to weight loss. Like, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
So
that is vague.
Like, okay. How, Sway?
There's
like,
no time commitment. There's no pounds. There's no inches. There's no body fat in there.
And I think when it comes to that, and I'm so funny. Like, I've given up on even adding that to my goals, because I'm like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Because that's something for me. Like, weight and exercise is just for me personally. It's something where I'm just like, I don't have the behavior or the mindset to do it, because I've never been athletic or active in any kind of way. It's just I've naturally had the body that I've had, just off God, I guess.
So shout out to him again.
Shout out to God, But would I like to do more stuff? Absolutely. And one of my things is always like drink more water. And I think I always put that on myself. So.
Yeah. And so that's actually one of mine for me, right, in the next 13 weeks, lose 10 pounds. So y'all join me if you want to.
Listen.
But that's one of the things, is to drink more water, but more specifically to drink 64 ounces of water every day.
Gotcha. See? So. Specific. That concise goal.
And time every day.
Every day.
And I don't know if we said this before on here, but I was listening to TD Jakes, and he was talking about how the most important thing in any game, so basketball, football, whatever, is the clock, right? That if there were no clock, no one would care, because it doesn't matter who's up or who's down right now. It only matters who's up or down when the time runs out.
That's true.
And so that's just like with a goal. You got to put a time on it, because if you don't, then it doesn't matter. And it just, instead of losing weight, you then gain 10 pounds.
Right.
And how did that happen?
Because the time, you had too much time on your hands. You were doing the most. So, yeah, that's interesting.
I was listening to a podcast called Redefining Wealth by Patrice Washington, and it was called Commitment is Everything. So I would recommend listening to that podcast.
Nice.
But she did a lot of talk about how a lot of people don't understand being interested in something. They say that they want to do something, but they're really just interested in it. So they do a lot of things to look busy. Like, oh, I researched being a vegan.
Mm-hmm.
I found these recipes, but they never implement anything.
Gotcha.
And so they start a lot of things, but there's no follow through. There's no commitment, and that's really what it is that you need to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in order to get results, you have to have consistent progress. So you need to have consistent behaviors that you repeat every day.
That's true. Yeah, to get it done. And I feel like that was a pretty quick, broad shuffle of how our year went. And it was just pieces, because I think if we kind of really like look back and delve into it, and I just wrote a blog about this too. So if you go to singlesinthecity.tumblr.com to read my year in review blog on just what I did personally as well. Looking back, like, it's funny how how a year can like change you. Like, I started off this year in a relationship, and I'm single now. So it's just like, it's funny the way the year works and how time kind of changes things. But I'm always reflecting on just that too in my relationships as well. But I think that taught me a lot. So if you're in that situation too, you started off the year in a relationship and now you're single, or you started off single and now you're in a relationship, really like think like, okay, what worked or what happened to get you where you are today? So I'm always thinking about that as well.
So then what happened?
Tell.
Chanel, tell us what happened to get you where you are today.
That is funny. So one of the things was, and this always pops in my head, like we were at our besties naughty house and we really had a moment. Y'all had a moment. Y'all was letting me have it. Like, okay, well, what you gonna do different? Like, it's not, thinking about what he did, or no, it is how are you going to be different in the next relationship? Mm-hmm. And that really stuck with me. So it was like, how am I going to be different? Because we all know if you continue to do the same thing, expecting the same results, that's insanity, right? So
what were you doing?
Doing the most, like, basically, like, rushing it. I'm a rusher. Like, if I like a guy, you'll know, like, he's going to know. I'm going to try to take over everything and plan every little detail and plan our whole life within meeting him for like the first 5 minutes. So that was me. I'm honest about it. I know I'm not the only one who like that. I know it's plenty of people who message me on Singles in the City like, yeah, I've been through that too. So it's great to see that I'm not alone in that aspect.
You are not alone.
Not alone, child. But I've learned, and that's probably why I'm still single. LaToya Luckett, who just recently got married, she was with Destiny's Child, but she said something so dope in her vows, where she was saying how like Adam, like, God had everybody asleep until you came into my life. And I feel like that's kind of me. Like, don't get me wrong, like, guys try to talk to me, but I feel like they're sleeping because they don't recognize.
What did she say?
See, I would have to find like the exact, but her vows were so beautiful where I was just like, oh my God, that's how I feel. I'm trying to think, do I have it in a note? I don't think I have it in a note, but she was basically saying that all the guys around her had been asleep, like Adam, until the man that God had designed for her kind of woke up and found her. And I think she was kind of in the same predicament as I am in at this point, where it was just like I was the one kind of searching and seeking out guys, where it should be the other way around. Like, they should be seeking out me. But I feel like a lot of them don't recognize I guess I don't want to say like the God in me, but they don't recognize me. And I think that they're going to be asleep until God says, okay, wake up, like, that's for you. There she go right there. But her vows are like perfect. And I feel like that's kind of where I am. And I blogged about this before too. Like, am I invisible? Like, why isn't anybody noticing me? But I think there's a point to that. And there's a reason why that's happening. So that's kind of where I am now, where I'm okay with being invisible.
But what do you want? Because sometimes you be like, I'm on a mancation, and then sometimes you be like, I'm invisible. Why they ain't talking to me?
Okay. So the mancation was where I was just like, okay, I kind of need to take a break. Like, I'm done talking to people. But now I'm to the point where I am open. Like, I didn't want it to get to a bitter point. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to take a break from guys, but I didn't want to be like, F men, like I don't like men, like I'm done. Because I feel like I was kind of teetering on that line where I was starting to get bitter. And I didn't want to go there. Yeah. So it's just like, it's not even my character to be like bitter about it. So I was just like, okay, no, like take a step back and just now, okay, like again, don't get me wrong, dudes try to talk to me all the time. But now I feel like I have that voice to be like, no, like, nope, this ain't going nowhere. Like, no, I don't like you. Just because I know my worth. And then I see, kind of the way they approach and it's just like, nah, I'm not doing it. So now I'm to the point where it is like I must be invisible to the right person, or he's asleep or I'm asleep or something. Like we haven't found each other yet because God hasn't designed that yet, which is fine. So now I'm at a good place where it's just like, I mean, as a woman and as a human, I can only be honest. Who doesn't want to be with somebody? Like everybody wants that companionship, and especially once you've experienced that and you've been with people and it's just like, what that can feel like. It's like you do miss it. I'm real. I'm honest. But then again, I know my worth and I know that it's going to be worth the wait. So, yeah.
So then you said before you would plan everything, be head over heels, kind of jump the gun. So then what are you going to do differently?
No, I'm not doing none of that. So.
But what does that look like?
It looks like me just being patient and letting things happen kind of organically and letting that man decide, like, if he wants to take those steps to plan dates and to call and to, do things out of the kindness of his heart, like let that man do that. Don't kind of dictate it like, well, let me plan a date or let me do this. No, like let it happen organically, but let it fall on him. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to help him out a little bit. Like I said this before. I will give any guy my number. I'm giving it to you. Here you go. Here's my number. Stop DMing me. I don't care. Just call. Like, let's see what's going to happen. But once I give you my number and I kind of open the door a little bit for you, now wait and see what he's going to do. And once he shows me what he's doing, if I don't like it, no. And quite honestly, a lot of people haven't gotten very far with me because it's just like, no, I don't like you. Plain and simple. So I'm learning fast. Like before I would just waste time just to be around people. But now it's just like, no, my time is really precious at this point. So I can't keep playing around. I mean, nothing is promised. So guys out there, if you listen, if you want to be with me, and I really want guys to really think about that. And I posted something like this on my social media the other day. I think guys like the idea of being with me. And maybe other women too. Like I feel like they like the idea. They like what they see on social media. But again, on social media, I'm putting out my best front. Like that's the best of me is what I'm putting on social media. Now, the annoying me, you're not going to see that on social media. But when we're together, you're going to see this annoying Chanel. You're going to see the emotional, the insecure, the hurt, the everything. Like, and I think Rio from Two Rios in a Pod asked me this. He was like, so when you're with somebody, what's something that they need to look out for? Or what's the hardest thing about dating you is the question he asks. And I answered, the hardest thing about probably dating me is you need to be patient with me. Out of all the heartbreak and things that I've gone through with men, I'm not going to easily at this point just give out my heart, because I've done that before and it didn't work in my favor. So now I really have my guards up, and I had to tell somebody in my inbox the other day. He was like, yeah, I've been trying to call you and reach you, but I was just like, you know what? I just don't like you. So I'm going to stop you right now. Like, that's why it's not going anywhere. I don't like you like that. So I don't want to waste your time. Like, go shoot your shot with somebody else. But right here, this is not what I want. And I feel like guys have to understand that you have to be patient with me. So if you really want to be with me, you have to take that into account. Like, okay, let me maneuver in a different way. Like, let me give her space, or so yeah. But it's been a year. I would have not thought that I would be in this situation from how the beginning of the year started.
Yeah. Would you do it all over again?
I would, because it was lessons learned. So I'm not going to take anything away from it. Like I said, when he was on the episode, he's a good dude. So
he was on episode.
Ooh, that was early
it 14?
On. No, it was like
4.
4. Yeah.
4.
Yeah. 5.
He was on 5.
5 and 6. Come on, dude. You be knowing. But it was very early on. So I wouldn't change anything about our interaction, about our relationship, because it was absolutely a lesson learned. I hope he learned something from me as well.
4 and 5.
4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Hey, so go back and listen to those. But yeah, my ex was on and we were talking about everything. So I wouldn't change it for anything. It was definitely a lesson learned, and I feel like I needed to go through that to really, because like I said, I had been single before him, but I don't think I learned what I needed to learn because I went back into it with him doing the same stuff that I had done before. So it was like, God was like, nope, you don't get it. Like, you ain't listening still. Like, goodness. So now it's really like, okay, girl, listen, like, just stop. Because again, time, I'm really like a big person on time, and time is not promised to anybody. You lose people you love every day, and it's just like, we ain't got time to be wasting.
Every day.
Every
so then
day.
Do you think in the past that you dated people that you didn't like?
No. Oh, that's a great question. You're a great question asker. No. I feel like I'm really strategic about who I talk to. A lot, there has to be some type of vibe with me. So if I don't feel that first connection, no. I'm gonna either be like really like standoffish where it comes off as I'm being a bitch. Or I'm gonna be really awkward. And this is how you know that I like you, if I'm being awkward. Like if I'm being weird, then I'll probably like you because I'm nervous. But if I don't like you and I'm just like, no, like I'm real confident, then I don't like you.
That's so funny.
So yeah.
That's funny. I think I give everybody equal treatment.
Really? Yeah. I believe that.
I think I give everybody equal treatment. And that's why a lot of people are like, do she not? I don't know, whatever.
I can't tell.
You just get the same.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's funny because I would be so awkward and dudes be like, what's wrong with her? Like, you're weird. But if I like you, and yeah, I'm really like weird. But if I don't, I'm a baddie. Like, no, you can't talk to me. Like, you can't sit with us. Like, no, I'm really like, hey, because it's just like, I don't know, I don't like you. So if you've gotten that from me, hey, it's coming out now that you know that I don't like you.
This is a confessional.
It is. But I feel like I'm pretty honest with guys. If I don't like them, I'm going to tell them because I feel bad. Like, I don't want you to keep shooting your shot. And it's other people out here. Don't waste your time on me. So
that's funny.
That's where we at in the relationship department at the bottom of the year.
Okay.
A mess. A mess. But 2018, I'm hopeful. And I feel like I'm in a better headspace. Like I said, I didn't want to be bitter. So I feel like hopefully in 2018, some things will happen. But I'm not focused on it. It's not a high priority. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I feel like I'm in a good space with who Chanel is at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's so funny how... Well, you saw that one Instagram post for that girl. Actually, you sent it to the group me where the girl was in the car driving and she was like, you just be going through life. Everything's going fine. Your edge is growing back. You vegan. You getting close with God. Everything's going right. Then some dude just come and wreck everything.
Everything. Just turn your life all upside down. You be like, where'd you come from?
But the reality is, if he wrecked everything, you probably let him wreck everything.
Listen, right? You opened the door, right? Gave him the key, you let him in. So yes. And I feel like that now. So I'm like, you got to be patient with me because there's another meme where it's just like when the dude come in your life and he making you all happy and stuff, and it's like, who sent you? Right? You get suspicious. Like, where'd you come from? Yeah. Is this the devil or is this God? Right. I don't know. You could be a distraction. This is the devil at work.
That's funny.
So yeah, but
so then how do you think that what makes, like, what's the screening process then? What makes you be like, oh, he's cool, or nope, he ain't right?
You are so...
Hey, you the one who went down this path. Okay. I had other notes,
like,
but this is where it went.
Into this?
I might as well close the notebook.
Listen, we all off our game plan. But no, okay, so there's a few things that help me be like, oh, I think I kind of like him. So one of them is if he has a sense of humor. Like, I'm big on, like, if you can make me laugh.
Jerks can make you laugh.
There, okay, you're absolutely right. So it has to be, once I feel like he is being an a-hole, then it's just like, I don't like you. And it could change quick. I mean, Sherry knows. Like, I could like a dude 1 minute and the next day I'll be like,
oh my God,
nah.
It could change within seconds.
Yeah, so it's I mean, you gotta move fast with me. You gotta be quicker than that.
It's like double dutch. You gotta get in there.
You gotta be in there. You gotta stay. So, but so that's the one thing. He has to have some type of sense of humor. Music is another thing. Like, if he knows music, that's...
Jerks know music.
They do. You're right. Another thing is if he can teach me something, like stuff that I don't really know about.
Jerks can do that too.
They can. They can. Listen. So that's another thing that I'm big on. Another thing is just like how his mannerisms are. If he's like laid back, and I'm not really into like the flashy guy who popping bottles in the club and who that's just not my type. Cause I'm boring. Like I'm gonna be in the house and you gonna be out. This is not gonna work. Like so, I'm looking for like the low key like boring type as well. So that's another thing. And then I'm gonna be honest. Like if he's handsome, that's a factor. Like I'm looking for that. So I'm not gonna say. And to the FN Ladies podcast, they posted something the other day too that I reposted because I posted something on Singles in the City that said your soulmate is gonna be ugly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is probably true. My soulmate probably gonna be ugly, but again, he might be ugly to y'all, but to me, he probably gonna be like fine. So I don't really care. So I was telling other people that like don't let that deter you, like. Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What's cute to me might not be cute to Sherry. And we've all experienced that. Like, guys she's talked to is just like, I would never talk to him. And I'm sure she feels the same way about me. Like, I would never talk to that dude.
All of them.
Listen, I'm just playing. All of it. Not my type. But, I mean, we do have some guys in common where we're both like, yeah he's fine. There was one over there.
There was one recently. No.
Yeah, there was one recently where we looked at each other. We was like, yeah, he bad.
Tens across the board.
All tens. He was bad.
But you never know. Because with me, it could go down real fast. Like,
yeah.
So that real quick.
That jerk could be he could be a 10, but he a jerk. So don't let the looks department be too high. But again, I'm really big on like if he can teach me something and teach me something new and we can kind of vibe off of each other. Music is a huge one for me. So that's kind of how I weed people out.
But then how do you know if he's a good person or not?
I know that by how he treats me and how he treats other people. And I think the way I am and how I love people and how I'm genuinely like concerned about people's well-being and I want to love on everybody. If I can see that in him as well, then it'll be like, wow, you have the same heart as I have. Which my ex had a really like giving heart. Like he was a super sweet guy. Like
he was alright.
He okay.
I'm just playing. Shout out to him.
No, but shout out to him. He had a super sweet heart. Like we were going somewhere one day. No, we were in Chicago, and you know, there are a lot of panhandlers in Chicago. He's just giving one money, like we're out shopping or doing whatever. I don't even remember what we were doing, but he like completely stopped what we were doing to make sure she was fine, to give her money. So that type of heart, that giving heart is definitely something where I'm just like, wow, you tight. So yeah, that's how I'm weeding people out. But you don't know that until you get in it. And I think that's the scary part. Like we can talk, but once you're like in it with somebody, you can kind of spend time with them and see them. That's kind of where you see like who they really are. Because I feel like the first couple weeks, maybe the first month, I don't know who you are. Like you're still anybody, and we're all putting up our best fronts.
Because see, I agree. I think that everybody puts up their best front, right? And then you get to see who people really are. But for some reason, people tend to hold on to what they were introduced to in the first 30 days, and they keep trying to look for that same person, even though this person for the last 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months has shown you that that's not who they are. Why do we do that?
I really feel like, well, I'm going to say for me personally, because I can't speak for everybody else, but why I did that, because you're trying to hold on to something that you know is not meant to be. So I think people focus on those good parts and not listening to like, oh, these other signs, like he has a temper, or like just stuff that you're like, you know, you shouldn't be dealing with, or you know, his baby mama keep calling, like stuff like that. We're just like, no, like, you know, you shouldn't be a part of this. But you're holding on to something because you just feel like you need to be with somebody when you necessarily don't need that. So all that glamour that happens those first 30 days, no, it's all fun and games. Like it's nice and you're in that honeymoon stage. But once the layers start coming back, you need to definitely be on the lookout for all of those signs and that stuff.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to look back and it's going to be like 7 years later. You're going to be like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think that there are signs that people overlook, because a lot of times people will explicitly say, like, oh, man, I'm real selfish.
Girl.
Right? Like, they'll outright say stuff like that. Or if you look at the captions on their own post, on their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they'll be like, oh, I'm a savage, or I'm this, I'm that.
Girl.
Believe them. I'm a dog.
Listen, you preaching to the choir. A guy told me one day, like, I can't do commitment, like, flat out.
Yeah.
Was like, yep, I don't do commitment. And I was still, like, trying to make him do it. He had told me to my face, not through a text, not on the phone, in my face told me this, and I was still trying to make it go. And it was just like, bro, he said it. He don't do commitment. Like, you cannot change that. Only that person can change that. So don't do it. If somebody's telling you something, believe them. If they're showing you something, believe them.
Yeah. And also listen to what people say about them.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Because if your own friends
yeah,
talk bad about you,
yeah, that's bad. Or if he doesn't have any
and
friends.
these are the people that know you the most. And I would agree. I told you I was listening to this one, I guess it was like a seminar. I don't know what it was. But the girl said, if he doesn't have friends, it's because he's unfriendly.
Yeah. I remember you did say that. And I was like,
oh,
that
no.
makes sense. Like, if a guy doesn't have, like, genuine, and I don't mean, like, a bunch of guys. Because I feel like guys and the term friend is a little different. Like, they could be cool with all kinds of people. But, like, a genuine, like, friend that you have seen probably at their worst.
Yeah, like they've been friends since the 9-9.
Forever,
if
yeah.
they ain't been friends since the 9-9, they ain't friends.
Yeah, if y'all ain't been friends for like 5 years, I feel like that's a good length of time.
I'm gonna go with like 10.
Like 10? Okay. That's
because
right.
if you can, then that means you can't do a relationship.
Yeah, at all.
If nobody, this is all relative to how old the guy is, right?
That's true.
But we're 30, so in your 30 years of life, if you couldn't sustain a friendship for 10 years,
and that's like prime,
then I probably don't want to have nothing to do with you.
That's true. That's like prime college time. Like, if you ain't make no friends throughout that time.
Or even high school. Most people meet their friends in high school. So, yeah. So when you were 14, 15, 16, 17,
and you don't got the
18,
same
19,
yeah,
and you couldn't keep that one same friend until the time you was 29,
that's
30.
kind of scary.
Exactly.
Now we should do like a poll. Like, now I want to know, like, how long have you been friends with somebody?
That's why you gotta ask the right questions.
That's true.
When you meet people.
That's true. All right, so what are those questions? Come on.
Like,
what's the questions? What should we ask?
You meet a guy out or whatever. So, like, there was this one guy who turned out not to be that great, but he was always kind of out with these same people. And I'm like, oh, where'd you meet them? Where'd you know them from? You know, again, my intention is to figure out who have you been friends with these people. But I had kind of gave him a pass because he moved.
Oh,
so I was like,
you a transplant,
right? You a transplant, so. There's some discretion, right, that you have to use. But I would definitely say look for people who have long-lasting friendships, and then also talk to their friends and see what their friends have to say about them. Because you're not going to catch me bad-mouthing the real Chanel to a group of people that I don't even know. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's crazy. But I would say whatever their friends say about them is true. And then especially, here's the thing. Especially if you have the opportunity to meet their family. Oh. Because they family will tell it.
Keeps it real. Yeah, families keeps it real.
They do, with no filter. And I remember there was a point where I was with a guy and his own mom was like, yeah, you can do better than him.
Oh,
Let me tell you
bad. When his own mom
said that. Whatever the mama says is true.
Listen. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. That's making me think back to like
So shout out to all the moms who keep it real.
Listen, I'm gonna be that mama too. Like Not
and
with
then
my
also guys who move too fast, like they want you to meet their mama like on the second day, and you like, but I don't even know you.
That's scary.
Like, what is this? What we doing? Like, what's your intention for real?
Yeah, I was gonna post a meme. We are so meme crazy, but I was gonna post a meme like that the other day where it was like first date and it was like him, I love you, and then it's like a picture of Goofy and it's like, oh no, like the meme say, oh no.
Same thing too with guys who say I love you too fast. Like, because some people just want to be in a relationship, and they just want to create this whole thing that they see, like they want to mimic this.
Oh, sure.
And you could be anybody, and you'll do. that ain't gonna work over
That's
here.
true. And I feel like that's how my last relationship was. Like, we was just trying to force it, and I see that now. But now guys who are like, yeah, like, come to my house and meet, I'm just like, oh no, like, I really like freak out. Like, no, I can't. No. And that'll definitely get me to be like, delete. Like, if you're moving too fast.
Because that just makes me think, then how many people have met your mom?
And
then also I think that we assume that guys have the same standards that we do. So we think like, oh, if I'm meeting your mom, that means like I made it.
Right. When
some guys don't care. Yeah. And anybody can meet their mom.
Right. Listen.
And the mom, especially too, I would say the mom's reaction when she meets you. Because if she's like, yeah, hey, how you doing? Then that means that she done met 10 other women.
That's true. Or she could be like a nice, because I know some dudes who have like some really nice moms. For instance, like my son's father, his mom is like super sweet. She would like just bring anybody in. Like, she just likes anybody. So for that, like, be on the lookout for that, because they just have genuinely nice moms. But me, on the other hand, having a son, like, I'm gonna be like,
so
no.
let me get more specific.
Okay.
Here. I'm talking about moms who treat it very nonchalant.
Okay.
Because that means that they have met probably a ton of women. But if she takes special interest in you and she's trying to put forth the effort to get to know you, then it might be something more. But for the moms, it's just like, oh yeah, hey, all right.
How you doing?
Right. What's your name again? All right.
Right. Because I ain't gonna remember it, because there's gonna be somebody else coming through this door. Oh, y'all ain't right. But, and don't get us wrong, guys. Y'all probably listening like, dang, y'all going in. But I'm sure some females like that too, who just...
Yeah, there are.
Don't care.
There are some females.
And I might be one of them. No, I'm just kidding. Where it's just like, at this point, now I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm just kidding. But those are some good signs. And I mean, and this is the
guys
year.
Who take no interest in your life.
That's huge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big one on my list as well. Who don't like ask me about my kids or my class and like stuff like that, which is like, sometimes I'd be like, okay, I don't care, like, stop asking me this. But that's a bright spot to be like, okay, well, you care about that. Or how did your son do in his game? Like, little stuff like that is gonna definitely like, okay, get you some brownie points.
Right.
Maybe just the little things, maybe. But not if I think you like forcing it, because I know I'm thinking of a guy who I know would just do that because he's being a force. So if you don't really care, like, don't inquire. Like, and that's with anything, guys. If you don't really care, don't inquire about my life, because I could BS with you too now. So if we're going to BS each other, then that's what we're going to do. But yeah, so I know a lot of people at this time of year, you know, it's engagement season. And if you're single, and I know this time of year could be kind of sad, maybe for some people. But don't give up hope. Love is out there, man. Like, don't keep hope alive.
But I would also say, if it's your goal, then make sure that it's really what you want. And that is not just what you see other people doing. Because I don't think everybody wants that. I think some people do, but I think some people just want to do it because that's what other people are doing. And it's trendy.
Full circle. There we go. Actively,
or you know you ain't ready
goals.
For it,
right?
Like, why are we doing this and we know that we ain't ready?
Listen, if people force it, and if you single like me, then that's probably unlikely that that's gonna happen for you anyway, because figure you gotta like meet somebody, get to know them, meet their family, like go through all of this stuff. So yeah, it's not probably likely, but hey, whatever gets you through the day. But yes. Well, that was a segment on Chanel. Yeah,
it was.
Chanel and her dating life.
No,
listen. Hey. But yes, okay. 2017.
2017.
Hey.
Okay, so quick recap on SOAR, chapters 10 through 13. Any highlights that you want to share?
Yes. He talks about being appreciative of the failure. I don't know if he actually said appreciative, but like failure when you're starting a business, like don't let that deter you, because there is success in that failure. And I thought that was really important. Just looking at our own podcast, where I feel like sometimes I personally feel like, okay, we're not doing enough, or we're not doing this because this other pod did it, or we tried to do this and it didn't work out. But it's just like these are all stepping stones to get us to where we need to be. So don't like focus on what's not happening, but just continue to actively focus on what we can do and getting out the best product that we can. So
I agree. I don't even know if this was in chapters 10 to 13, but one of the things that he talked about was kind of having a big ego. How people get so focused on getting their name out there that they're not focused on the product, right? And so it's important to focus on the product and the process, not always the promotion. So people want the accolades, they want the recognition, they want the stage, right? They want the spotlight, but if you don't have the infrastructure, if you don't have everything set up, if you don't have a good product, then who cares when you get the spotlight? Because you're gonna be a one-hit wonder.
Ooh, you don't want to be out here like that.
You don't want to be out here like that. So it's just making sure that you put the effort in the right things, right? Making sure that you're putting out a quality product, so that when you get the stage, when you get all the lights, you're able to remain in the light
and enjoy it. Full circle, man. I feel like that's it. With just what we talked about this year in review, goals.
Yes.
Full circle.
Yes. Yep. Again, people want to do stuff to say, I did it. Look at me.
But right,
I'm winning.
But
goals.
Listen. But now,
right.
But make sure
you don't want to make sure that that you're set up for success. So same thing with relationships. You know, if you really want that, then what does it take, right? Are you willing? Because there's good and bad with that. Are you going to be selfish? Are you going to be there for somebody? Are you willing to put in the effort, the time, the commitment that it takes, or is this one-sided?
Yeah.
You know, same thing with all your other goals, with weight loss, clearing up debt. Doing whatever you want to do. Are you willing to put in the work? If not, then do you really want it?
Exactly. Absolutely.
And I'd say that if you're not willing to put in the work, then you probably don't want it, or at least not bad enough.
Not bad enough.
So be committed in 2018. Write down everything. Make a plan.
Yes.
Take those action steps and do something every day that allows you to take a small step to get closer to what it is that you want.
Amen.
All of that.
Yes.
So like I said, we're going to start reading The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish. So feel free to use our free Audible trial, www.audibletrial.com/BWB.
Yep.
Anything for the to-go box?
Well, I just want to say that we from Brunch with Besties wish you all a very prosperous 2018, and we love you guys. And again, thank you for rocking with us. We have so much more in store. So thank you for the DMs, the emails, the likes, all of that. We see it. We appreciate you all.
Yes, the comments, the conversations, the connections.
Yes.
So,
yes.
We do it for y'all.
Absolutely. And shout out to our Potter family. It was great over the weekend.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the ugly sweater party.
It was, if y'all was not there, it was lit. I don't think any of us could have foreseen the amount of love that we all showed each other. The crowd was showing love to each other. Like, it wasn't rowdy. And I feel like sometimes Milwaukee has a bad name. Like, when you go out, people are like kind of aware of their surroundings or just uncomfortable. But this wasn't that. Like, it was love, so much Black love in the building. So it was great. It was awesome. So hopefully more of that is in store, because it was awesome. And thank you to TZ Talks for allowing us to be a part of that. It was great.
Shouts out to her.
Yes. And happy birthday. She just had a birthday. So
oh, snaps. Happy birthday,
yes,
TZ.
my fellow Capricorn. So that's on the horizon.
So my to-go box is basically be committed. Be serious, be committed. Stop BSing. No excuses. None of that. Just do it.
Just
do it.
Just do it.
Like, just stop making excuses. Don't say I couldn't because of this and because nope, you didn't because you ain't want to. You ain't do it. That's why it didn't happen, because you ain't do it. So do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Like the swoosh.
Yep.
Yes.
Like the swoosh. Alrighty. So thanks for tuning in to Brunch with Besties. Until next time. Peace.
Thanks, guys, for listening to Brunch with Besties podcast. Be sure to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, now YouTube, and Google Play. Basically, we everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review and rate us. We would so appreciate that. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to find us on Twitter. Our handle is BrunchWBesties. On IG, you can find us at Brunch with Besties Podcast. And if you'd like, you can shoot us an email. Our Gmail is brunchwithbestiespodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Peace.